This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Nevada and Learfield.
Coming up on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet. Nevada men's basketball puts its perfect start on the line with another pair of home games. We have highlights and reaction. A busy week for the Wolfpack's women, including a landmark contest inside the new Tahoe Blue Center. We take you inside the first college basketball game inside South Lake's new venue. Nevada football hitting its second bye week of the season. We sit down with head coach Jeff Choate as the Pack prepares for its last two games. And we feature a new fixture on the Union, Spencer Lovell's long road to rocking silver and blue for his last year of college ball. Hey there, friends, and welcome to another edition of Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet. I'm Mike Stephenson. The hype around Nevada's new-look men's basketball team is already there. After a 2-0 opening week, the Wolfpack playing two more games inside Clara-Nevada Event Center. First on Wednesday with Weber State in the house. This one had a bit of a sluggish start with the Wildcats actually holding a 3-point lead over 10 minutes into the game. But the next 30 were a much different story as the Wolfpack blitzed its Big Sky foe, opening up a 12-point lead at halftime and adding a bunch to it out of the break, winning by 30, 88-58. It was a huge night for some newcomers, including Fresno State transfer Xavier Dussel, who had a game-high 17 points, while Oklahoma State transfer Justin McBride set a new career high, dropping 16 points off the bench. Nevada shot nearly 57% from the field, holding Weber State under 28%. Nevada then taking its 3-0 record into a Saturday tussle with Santa Clara. For those highlights and reaction from the team, here is Shannon Kelly.
2 minutes in, Xavier Dussel picking up where he left off against Weber State. A quick catch-and-shoot three, and follows it up with another deep ball. A pair of back-to-back buckets from downtown Reno. It's 10-2 Nevada. The Pack would keep its rally rolling. Nick Davidson gives it a try from distance, fouled on the play. It's 17-4 Nevada. Davidson caps off a 7-0 run. Silver and blue not letting its foot off the gas. Tyler Rollison comes up short on the layup, but Brandon Love there for the putback. The crowd is loving it. It's 42-21 late first half. Standout defender Trey Coleman continuing to do work on offense too. In the post, Nevada up by 23 points now. The Pack would lead 47-26 at halftime. Newcomer Kobe Sanders facilitates this ball smoothly to Trey Coleman, who's left wide open and drains the three. Nevada caps off a 12-2 run halfway through the second frame. The Wolfpack would lead by as many as 34, as Nevada would finish the game shooting 56% from the floor, holding the Broncos to shooting 39%, including 11% from three. Nevada shuts down Santa Clara 85-59. Head coach Steve Alford notches his 100th win as the Pack's head coach. Here he is reflecting on this milestone.
Even more than the 5 years here, so I'm very thankful. You know, we're not far from Thanksgiving, and I'm very thankful that God's blessed me with the opportunities to coach this long and in the places where I've coached with the staff and to mentor the young men that I've had a chance and our staff's had a chance to mentor. That's what's special about the whole deal.
He's meant a lot, since I first arrived on campus. He's always instilled confidence in me and, told me to go be that dog that I've been.
He's really invested in all of us. With me redshirting, not a lot of guys are able to have that opportunity nowadays. So just every year he's kind of instilled confidence in me, worked extra with me, watched film with me off the court. So, congrats on 100 wins. That's a big accomplishment.
What can you say about your team's ability just to control the tempo really from start to finish and not let Santa Clara go on any big runs?
Yeah, we just, we had a goal that we wanted to take the three ball away. We knew that meant they were going to get some twos, and we just weren't going to. I just kept telling them at timeouts, don't take the bait. Just keep taking that three ball away because they're not going to score enough points making twos in the second half. And our guys just did a phenomenal job for 40 minutes of taking that three ball away, and that's their strength, and they're really good at it. So It means a lot that our guys can listen, pay attention, but also execute it at a high level, because all game plans may sometimes are good, sometimes they're bad, but they got to be executed, and players get the credit for executing them, and they definitely executed what we wanted done today.
Next up for Nevada, the Charleston Classic over in South Carolina as the Wolfpack takes on Vanderbilt to open the tournament. That'll be Thursday at 4:30. Coming up on Wolfpack All Access, back to Nevada football. The Silver and Blue retooling during its bye week. Our Alex Margulies catches up with head coach Jeff Choate.
Here at Legacy Hall, head coach Jeff Choate joining us here on the bye week for the Wolfpack, coming off of that loss last week against Boise State. At this point right now, what is the biggest thing that you can kind of do as a coach during a bye week? Obviously, you have to get healthy. You've had a ton of injuries, but what are some of the other things that become so useful to you, I guess, at this juncture of the season with 2 games remaining?
Well, I don't think it ever changes. Is from a head coach's perspective, you're always looking for the next challenge, the next opportunity, what's around the corner. You start thinking about, number one, recruiting, which is a huge activity for us this week, and some of the things that we've been able to do. We've been able to host some official visitors. We've gotten coaches on the road. We've spent some time with our young guys in terms of doing some rookie scrimmages and getting those guys some extra repetitions. We focused on our new opponent in Air Force, which is it's actually kind of a blessing sometimes to have that bye week. And when you're going up against a style offense like the Air Force Academy, and so there's been a lot of different things that we've kind of tried to accomplish, but you kind of compartmentalize it. All right, so hey, we're going to recruit, we're going to focus on fundamentals and get our young guys reps, and then we're also going to be able to get a little bit of a jump on game plan for Air Force.
When it comes to recruiting, this is really your first, kind of full cycle going through it now. As you're going in and trying to find prospective players to come play for your program, what are the qualities that you're hoping to find in kids that you want to come bring here to Reno?
I think it's interesting you ask that, because every single place is a little bit different. What fits here at the University of Nevada may not be exactly what fits at University X, Y, or Z. Sure. And I think that part of the process that you go through in this first cycle is really figuring out what it is that fits here. The types of kids that really thrive in our environment and have success. And I think so that's the number one thing before you start going, okay, what are those things? Well, you got to know, hey, this guy exemplifies what we want. What are the characteristics that he has? What makes him such a great fit for our program and for this place in Reno? Because there may be kids, I don't like cold weather, I don't like this, whatever. And so they come from all over the country, but the common denominators are they love the game, right? They are hardworking, tough guys, right? And they have that blue-collar mindset. So those are kind of the things that I feel like that's what fits our program. Now there's also some things that we look at, and you've got to have, in my opinion anyway, for a Division I football player, they have to have some measurable elite quality, right? That might be football intelligence. That might be, a leadership thing that you can quantify in some way, shape, or form, but usually those are intangibles. I'm talking about mass, length, and speed. And so those are the things that we've got to bring in, couple that with a guy that's really tough, a guy that loves football, a guy that fits Reno. So those are the kind of the pieces that you're looking for, and it's not really a science. I think recruiting is much more of an art than it is a science, because if you could quantify this, nobody'd ever miss. But there's a lot of misses in recruiting, and so knowing your audience and going out there and trying to find the guys that are going to fit what we're trying to do and play the game the way we want to play it, that's really the most important deal. Obviously, you got to have guys that are big, strong, and fast.
All right, you mentioned the next assignment up is the Air Force Falcons. They run that triple option, which is always a difficult thing to prepare a team for. What do you feel like are some of the biggest challenges of trying to stop a triple option type of team?
I think it's just about discipline, right? I mean, it's not. They're gonna window dress some stuff, and when they've run that system as long as they have, it's like they go to the Bible. It's they're playing double G, so we're going to go to X call. Oh, they're playing an odd front, so we're going to go to Y call. And it really is like you can almost feel their counter punches to whatever you throw at them, and that's the one thing that probably is the most challenging. It's not really just the fact that they have good players and it's a difficult system in terms of playing with good eye control and pad level. They cut block. There's all these different things that they do. But it's really the fact that when they run that system, they have the answers to the quiz. And I always felt like when we played Coach Alt with the pistol, it was innovative. And then after a while, you're like, okay, this is how this operates. But they were a lot like an option team in that, hey, this is how they're going to play us this week. These are our answers to counterpunch that. And so that's the thing that you've got to do, is you've got to mix your calls and do some disguising so that they can't just get them into the call, especially with the coach to player now. So, you know, it used to be you'd see the option teams always look back, right? Well, now they don't have to look back. They could just say, hey, Johnny, we're going to go to counter option here. We're going to go to speed here, or whatever the case may be.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us as always, and we'll see you out there at Mackey.
Yep. Awesome, man. Go Pack.
Thanks, guys. It was a busy week for Nevada women's hoops, including a big-time matchup in Lake Tahoe. We have sights and sounds from the first game inside the Tahoe Blue Event Center. That is next on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet. Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet, rolls on. I'm Mike Stephenson. This week, the new Tahoe Blue Event Center in Southlake, playing host to its first college basketball game, a contest featuring Nevada's women and the Big 12's University of Colorado. Here's a taste of what took place inside State Line's new venue.
It's amazing. It's my first time in here. It's a beautiful place. We stay right across the street, and so we're hopeful that we can continue to have a game here every year. Bring women's basketball to a little extension of Reno, and I know there's a lot of Pac fans in this community, so hopefully we can build on this event. As things move forward and here, more college teams come in and our players, grow up and get older and have jobs and things like that, to look back and be like, oh, when Nevada took on Colorado in 2024, like, they're going to be part of something bigger than, themselves forever. And I think that's was a part of why I wanted to do this, like having that in my background, having experienced that. It was absolutely amazing to do something different in a different venue that isn't set up for basketball necessarily, but is a sports venue. So I think for them, they'll, be able to hang on to this for a really long time.
That piece put together by R. Zach Briggs. It was the Buffaloes who left town with a win in that game, 75-59. Amanda Levin's team then had a quick turnaround, going from that Tuesday game in chilly Tahoe to a Thursday contest in sunny Santa Barbara. Behind Sullivan's career-high 24 points, Nevada wins at Santa Barbara, 80-73. And a special shout-out to Audrey Roden, who passed the 1,000-point mark in her Nevada career. Coming up next on Wolfpack All Access, a 7th season in college ball and a 4th school. We profile offensive lineman Spencer Lovell. But first, our Chris Murray has This Week in Wolfpack history and the introduction of who would be a monumental figure in Nevada men's basketball.
The first game of Nevada basketball's Trent Johnson era was a rousing success as the Wolfpack whipped the Pac-12's Washington State 80-55 in his head coaching debut November 19, 1999. It was a short-term mirage followed by long-term miracles. After the shocking win over Wazoo as a 9-point underdog, the Wolfpack lost its next 9 games against Division I opponents, finishing that season at 9-20. But major milestones would await, as Johnson led the Wolfpack to 2 WAC championships and the school's first Sweet 16 berth in the NCAA tournament just 5 years later, setting the foundation for 2 decades of future Nevada hoop success.
I'm Marcus Bellon with the Nevada football team, and I'll be answering 5 questions. Dream car would be a McLaren.
What color?
That's a good question. Maybe red? Santana Moss, because I'm a Redskins fan and I grew up watching him, and he was my favorite receiver. Favorite class I've taken in college would probably be entrepreneurship. My spirit animal would be a Wolverine. They're fearless. Pair of skis.
Back here on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet, I'm Mike Stephenson. He is one of the most veteran players on the Nevada football team, helping rebuild the Union to its old standard. Here is Shannon Kelly once again as she introduces us to guard Spencer Lovell.
Spencer Lovell was born to be an offensive lineman.
Here we go, off the wall. My older brother, he kind of inspired me to play because I was like young and I'm like, I want to be a quarterback. And he's like, dude, you got to be an offensive lineman. Like, you're going to be huge. And once I started, I kind of fell in love with just how physical it is.
The Fort Collins native wasn't the only lineman in his family.
My triplet brother, he's like 6'5", dark hair. So like we'll walk in at places they don't think we're related, or they're shocked when we are. In high school basketball, like I was the 5, he was the 4. I was left guard, he was left tackle.
Lovell is the only one of his brothers still playing football, and it's been quite the journey, with stops at Arizona State, Cal, and Kansas, before landing at Nevada for his 7th and final season.
I'm extremely grateful. The one thing that has carried me through college is I've learned how to enjoy the process. So I'm trying to instill that in other guys who maybe haven't gotten it yet, that the day-to-day is what's important, not the W's, because that's going to carry on, that's what's going to follow.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into coaching. You know, he's a guy that's been in a bunch of different systems. He's played for a bunch of offensive line coaches, really mature guy, understands his role as a mentor, leader. He's got a lot of miles on the car, so we got to manage him a little bit.
The 6'7", 332-pound guard has played in the most games out of anyone on the Pac's roster.
That veteran presence is everything to this team. I think that he was 100% a piece of the puzzle that we needed, and that he pushes us in the right direction.
He's a great player. I mean, he has a lot of leadership. He's been around the game for a long time, so he's always there to support me and help me, and everybody. I mean, he's always helping the tackles, helping the other guys, and he holds himself and others accountable.
Unlike his other stops, Nevada is the first place where Lovell is part of helping rebuild a program.
Knowing you're going in for a challenge is a different feeling. Even though things aren't going great right now during our season, under Coach Choate's leadership, you still want to give your effort. You still want to do your best, because he's a leader of men. You do nothing but want to run through a wall for him.
But not even Lovell envisioned he'd still be playing college football at this point.
If you told me I'd be in college for 7 years, I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, right, And I think the coolest part is every locker room, you just meet guys from different places and you vibe with them, and it's just different. And I have a bunch of buddies from all across the nation, and to have those lasting relationships is awesome.
For Wolfpack All Access, I'm Shannon Kelly.
The well-traveled Lovell earned a bachelor's degree in project management and business at Arizona State, then earned a certificate in entrepreneurship from Cal, and then a certificate in leadership from Kansas. That man is busy. Coming up, an NCAA national event taking place in the biggest little city as a Wolfpack tennis player heads to his own. That's coming up next on Wolfpack All Access. Wrapping things up here on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet. On Friday came a very special moment for the Nevada Cross Country program as it played host to the NCAA's Mountain Regional Race, a contest featuring the top men's and women's teams in the country. And it was those BYU Cougars who claimed the team titles, but the Wolfpack was also in the field over at Washoe Golf Course. We caught up with Nevada's top women's runner and longtime coach, Kirk Elias.
It was really brutal today. There was a lot of slipping. The snow it got windy right when the gun went off. So it got pretty crazy as soon as it set in that we were doing it. So it was pretty insane for a regional championship. And it's really amazing having such a great community just being out here today. The whole course today, all 3.7 miles, there were people cheering for us, and it just felt like everyone was on our side today.
We had a hardcore group of people out here helping me put this on, and we had about a dozen people out here who worked their tails off on Wednesday, and then the whole course went down in that windstorm, and they came out here again on Thursday and set everything up again. The depth of my gratitude towards these people and towards my teams is just so immense.
Speaking of national events, this week Youssef Kadiri will make some history as the first Nevada men's tennis player to participate as an individual in the NCAA championships. The Morocco native is one of just 14 players from non-power conferences and the only one from the Mountain West.
To be honest, it still didn't kick in yet. Probably once I'll be there, I'll just realize it, because it's something that was one of my goals since I was a freshman, and yeah, it's happened right now as a senior, so it's great.
All right, that is it for this week's edition of Wolfpack All Access from our Nevada Sportsnet studio. I'm your host, Mike Stephenson, saying so long, friends.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.